Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to part 2 of GAW Nitro 10. Part 1 was an absolute success, if you ask me. I might be a little biased, but to see those 4 Academy prospects make history, and then to see what has happened on the Storm Chaser tournament after that. If you didn't watch night 1 of the Storm Chaser knockout tournament, go watch it right now. But today, for part 2, we begin with the Goldberg Beat the Clock Challenge. The rules are simple. 8 competitors, 4 matches. Whoever wins his match in the shortest amount of time is crowned the Goldberg Beat the Clock Champion. And what a match that we have to start out the longest running yearly competition in GAW. That's right, the Goldberg Beat the Clock Challenge started all the way back in 2012. Jeff Hardy was the first winner of that competition, and Walter is the defending champion and also the record holder. 1 minute, 7 seconds. Walter won his match last year. And if you also don't remember, if you don't watch NXT UK, or you didn't see this match, Walter and Tyler Bate had one of the best matches of the last 5 years for the NXT UK Championship. So there's a lot of history between these men and a lot of history for Walter in this competition. The history of this competition is littered with famous names. Walter, of course, among them, but we've got winners like I mentioned, Jeff Hardy, Kota Ibushi, AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre. McIntyre, by the way, has put up just an absolute collection of wins in competitions like this. He, of course, is a former winner of the GAW Christmas Party. He's been in the GAW Classic 2 times. He's won the Goldberg Beat the Clock Challenge. I mean, he's not even in it this year, the Beat the Clock Challenge, because of course he is in that 8-man tag match coming up later on in the show when the Mob takes on the Blade Runners. These 2 guys, though, they got to get back in the ring soon if Walter wants to beat his own record. He's got about 10 seconds left to do so. Walter, big boot. Oh, wait. He might just do it here, looking for the power bomb. A crucifix bomb here coming from Walter, but Tyler Bate gets out of it. We've passed the minute 7 mark. Walter will not break his own record that he set last year, but of course he can still win the competition. Goes for the cover here early. One thing that you should know about the Goldberg Beat the Clock Challenge in terms of how the matches look, because it's all about winning fast, the matches take a lot less time because guys just make a lot more mistakes. When you're working that fast, you make a lot of mistakes, and now Walter pulls out a Samoa death drop, not something I would have expected from the big man. But now gets Tyler Bate into a camel clutch, wrenching back shades of the Iron Sheik here with this camel clutch, but Tyler Bate able to work his way out. Tyler Bate, a much better matchup for Walter. And Bate now, double underhooks. Tyler Driver 98. Tyler Bate could actually do this. Dethrone the no. Tyler Bate in 2 minutes almost beat the former champ. Now going for the double underhook suplex, but Walter, look at the agility from the big man. Wow. This is actually one of the hardest fought matches that we've seen in the Goldberg Beat the Clock Challenge. The record for the longest match ever is about 6 minutes, 20 seconds. We're not quite there yet, but if the competition between these 2 is any indication, well, never mind. Power bomb from Walter, and Walter will set the opening standard. No! What do you mean that didn't get the job done? Oh my goodness. They almost did it right there. Walter now with a backbreaker, and I think Walter, with the history in this competition, this is his 3rd time competing. He finished 2nd in 2017, obviously won it last year, and I think with his experience, I think he knows that his time in this competition is over. I don't think there's any way. Oh, 450 from Tyler Bate. I don't think there's any way that at this point 3.5 minutes is going to be good enough. Walter now into the rear naked choke on Tyler Bate and got his legs wrapped around as well. The sleeper hold here from Walter. Bate just trying to do everything he can to try to work his way out of this hold. Devastating. Walter ends up letting him go. I think Walter at this point knows he just needs to end proceedings here and hope for some good results later on. Power bomb number 2 on Tyler Bate, and now Walter with the shortest time in his career in the the longest time in the Goldberg Beat the Clock challenge. He comes in at about 4 minutes 15 seconds. I don't think that'll be good enough to win this competition. It's never been good enough before. Every single winner of this competition, dating all the way back to 2012, won it in under 4 minutes. So I don't think this is going to go. But this was not a good matchup for Walter, to be fair to him. This was not a good matchup at all for the big man. Tyler Bate, despite his size, is one of the strongest competitors in GAW. And so to put him against Walter, the two of them, of course, have had unbelievable matches together in the past. This was not a good matchup for the defending champ. So I don't think Walter will go home with gold today, but we'll see what happens in our next match. It has not been the greatest year, it must be said, for Adam Cole. And you can still see the fans absolutely love Adam Cole, and well deserved. He worked for years and years to build up the kind of following that he enjoys right now. But his year in GAW has been marred by upset losses, pinfall losses in championship matches, injuries. It's not been a great year for Adam Cole, but he at least has a chance to end it on a high note, and the defending champ, Walter, really left the door open with his time in the first match. Shane Thorne is a man that I don't think a lot of us are very familiar with. He has been competing for most of the year in his native Australia, but Thorne has been around here in GAW a little bit. He was in the Rumble on the Beach, and I've been told that Thorne and his partner, his TM61 partner, Nick Miller, I should say, they're planning on being around here a little bit more in GAW, so this would be quite the start for Shane Thorne if he's able to really pull an upset here in the Goldberg Beat the Clock challenge. The door was left open by the former champ. I say former, I guess it's not official yet. It's possible that 4:15 might be the best time today, but that would be the first time ever. So I don't think it's likely is what I'm saying. So these two, they're looking at a situation where you had to say the favorite of the competition, Walter, will no longer factor into the decision here. The reason why Walter is such a favorite is because his imposing size makes every move so devastating, so difficult to kick out of. And Tyler Bate is one of the few who actually made a little bit of a business out of doing that. But a lot of the rest of the guys in this competition, they're not known for that. But it's a lot, this competition, it's not just been the giants with those incredibly powerful moves. Look at this, Adam superplex. Oh my God, I can't speak either. It has not been just the giants. I said Jeff Hardy was the first winner. Kota Ibushi's won this competition. Kofi Kingston's won this competition. AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio has won this competition. this is not the land of the giants in the Goldberg Beat the Clock challenge. And in a lot of ways, it says a lot about, that it's the reason why Goldberg is the namesake. He was known for having incredibly short matches, and he had a lot of matches against guys who were bigger than him. And that's what we take pride in GAW. Adam Cole now choking Shane Thorne out on the top rope. Coming up on the 2-minute mark here, but still a lot of time for these guys to best the time set by Walter. Cole with a super kick to the back of the head. Big thrust kick, and that is a little bit of an homage to Goldberg himself. Cole now getting Shane Thorne up into the Tree of Woe position, and Cole with a backstabber. Hopefully Adam Cole is healthy. He has not been healthy for most of this year, but Adam Cole now going for the cover, trying to set the time to beat. Shane Thorne kicks out. That's Shane Thorne's teammate. His TM61 teammate, Nick Miller. He's come out to distract Adam Cole here. It's not something that we see very often in the Goldberg Beat the Clock challenge, but now Shane Thorne, schoolboy covers Shane Thorne, looking for the time to beat on Cole, got him from behind. Shane Thorne uses the distraction to pick up the victory. 3:03 is the final time. Wow. I never even put 2 and 2 together that Thorne hadn't come out with Miller, his partner. But there you go. Shane Thorne sets the time to beat at 3 minutes, 3 seconds. Wow. How unbelievable is that? There it is, Shane Thorne from behind as Nick Miller was distracting Adam Cole, and Shane Thorne shocks the fans here at Nitro 10. Adam Cole can't believe it, and Shane Thorne letting everyone know he's the one who was thinking. We got 2 matches left, the time to beat, 3:03. This is probably the biggest ovation you're going to hear for anyone in the Goldberg Beat the Clock challenge, and well-deserved. Kofi Kingston, he has had one heck of a 2020. Kingston, of course, won the Intercontinental Championship shortly after Nitro 9. He upset Adam Cole in the first Wednesday Night Storm. After that show, went on to win the belt, held it for several months. He was part of the GAW Classic. And now he's looking to add another feather to his cap by becoming a 2-time Beat the Clock Challenge winner. Now here is the issue. The man he is facing is a man that we know almost nothing about. And that's true. Hunter, coming out, he introduced himself to the world when he became part of Aleister Black's crew in Alpha, when Black was still a part of it. Hunter and Hornet were his 2 bodyguards, and Hunter was the one who was much more physically aggressive. Hunter was the one who beat up most of the Blade Runners backstage. He slammed, I believe it was Buddy Murphy, onto concrete back there, took Murphy out for several months. So, but we just don't know really anything about him. We don't know where he's from. We don't know his background. All we know is he's proven himself to be incredibly dangerous, and this is his first official singles match in all of GAW. Kofi Kingston won the Beat the Clock Challenge as a rookie in 2014, and you can hear the fans fully behind him. Hunter Falcon Arrow goes for the cover. Kingston able to kick out. Kingston is the only rookie to win the Beat the Clock Challenge. and a lot of great rookies have come through. But you know, the thing about Kingston, even though he's a little smaller, he doesn't have that kind of powerful move set that you would associate with someone like Walter or two-time champ Drew McIntyre. He is so quick, and that trouble in paradise, that'll sneak up on you like a hiccup, as it were. Now, I wish I could give some analysis about Hunter, but I really don't know anything. No one knows anything about Hunter. Suplex from the former member of Alpha. I'm shocked that he's still here after the demise of Alpha. Kingston going for the soul butt, caught by Hunter. We are past the minute 7, so the record pace is not going to happen. Snap DDT from Hunter. 3 minutes, 3 seconds is the time to beat, set by Shane Thorne when he upset Adam Cole with the help of his TM61 partner. And now Hunter, you can see a little bit of inexperience here. This is not the time to sit and admire your handiwork. Hunter now waiting for Kingston to get to his feet. Hunter picks him up, and Hunter slams him down. It's the same move that he used on Buddy Murphy, slammed him into the concrete, and now Hunter sets the new time to beat. 1:44. Out of nowhere, Hunter comes along and beats the former Intercontinental Champion. I don't know who this is. I don't know where he's from, but I do know that a lot of success can start by winning the Goldberg Beat the Clock challenge. Kota Ibushi won it in 2013. He goes on to win the first GAW Classic just 2.5 years later. Kofi Kingston won it in his rookie year. AJ Styles won it, and he's maybe the greatest champion in the history of GAW. Drew McIntyre, one title away from being a Triple Crown winner. This could be the start of something for Hunter in GAW, but we'll see if his time holds up. Well, Hunter set the standard here. 1:44 is the time, but Bandito could be the one to unseat that. Bandito, much like Kofi Kingston, he doesn't come in with that kind of powerful moveset or anything like that, but he is so quick, so fast, and he's so hard to defend against that maybe, just maybe, Bandito could find himself the winner of the Goldberg Beat the Clock challenge. These two, Bandito and Sin Cara, are no strangers to each other. In fact, Bandito and Sin Cara, they've battled in AAA and CMLL just this year. A big reason why the two of them have not been on TV very much here in GAW. Sin Cara did have several opportunities to challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship. But let's see if he can grab himself some gold in the final match. 1:44 is the time to beat, set by the unknown entity Hunter against Kofi Kingston. But who knows what could happen in a match like this. Bandito has spent most of his year in his native Mexico, where he's been incredibly successful. And so we are very glad to welcome him back here to GAW. Bandito now going up top as Sin Cara on the outside. You might want to rethink this. You don't have a lot of time to be doing things on the outside like this. Bandito was looking for a Dragon Rana, and Sin Cara gives him a nice sit down on that outside padding. Sin Cara now looking for a scoop slam. Bandito out of the way, looking for the soul butt. Sin Cara catches him. And now Sin Cara tosses him back in, coming up right here on the 1 minute mark. Better be a big move here if we're gonna have a new world record. And Walter's record will stand for 1 year as Sin Cara. Now the go behind, now a sleeper hold from Sin Cara. Bandito trying to break out of it, and he does with the jawbreaker. And now we got about 25 seconds until Hunter becomes the winner of the Beat the Clock challenge. Bandito sets Sin Cara up against the ropes, and now Bandito, a heat seeker. That rope-assisted pile driver to Sin Cara, and now Bandito going for the 3. Oh, Bandito by 1 second. By 1 second beats Hunter. Wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't, wow. Wow, we have never seen a margin this close. To put it in perspective, Walter, in last year when he won at 107. The second closest time was 158. I mean, this is the slimmest margin we've ever seen. And Bandito, you can see how much it means to him winning the Goldberg Beat the Clock challenge. What an accomplishment, and could this mean something for the future of one of Mexico's greatest wrestlers? Only time will tell. Coming up next, it's the first match in Two Match Turmoil. Caitlin Dunlap versus Asuka.
Prima donna girl, yeah. All I ever wanted was the world.
Caitlin Dunlap, a woman that I have referred to on many occasions as GAW's hottest young rookie. And it's because she is in this match. She is the first ever active GAW Academy competitor to fight for a championship on a Nitro show, on any pay-per-view for that matter. Because, of course, Yun-Son Park, when he was the Cruiserweight champion, he was no longer an active GAW prospect. He had made his way up to the main roster, and now Caitlin Dunlap, she's still fighting in the Storm Chaser tournament. In fact, this coming Wednesday, she's going to have her first round match. So there's a lot going on for Caitlin Dunlap, but she could be walking in to the Storm Chaser tournament as champion. Asuka, you gotta say that it seems on its face to be sort of unfair. Asuka has to fight 2 matches in the course of one evening to retain her championship, but compared with the alternative, this is a lot better because Asuka obviously has to factor in both decisions in order for her to lose her title, as opposed to maybe doing a triple threat or something, a 3-way dance, something of that nature, where Asuka would not have to factor into the decision. So this is a pretty solid alternative here, I think. And if there's any woman who would be willing to take on a challenge like this, it is Asuka, one of the greatest champions we've ever had. Folks, before we get to this match, the GAW Goldberg Beat the Clock challenge winner, Bandito, is backstage. You've all always respected me, but you've never respected anyone else. It's time for the Mexican wrestlers, for this other style, the true superior style of professional wrestling, to get the respect that we've always deserved. That's what Bandito did tonight, and that's what will continue to happen in GAW. 2021 is going to be the year of the Luchadors. Watch out. Wow. Wow is all I can say. Rey Mysterio has come to join Bandito. And no wonder Bandito has made such a big impression. No wonder he came out firing like he did. Bandito is now under the training and supervision of Rey Mysterio. Wow, that is unbelievable to think about. Asuka now, Irish Whip. I gotta get onto this match. I mean, we could talk about the implications of Mysterio and Bandito all day if we want to. But this match has a lot of implications in and of itself. Asuka is rapidly coming up on the 2-year mark. It'll take actually just another 10 days for Asuka to hit the 2-year mark with the GAW Women's World Championship. And so the implications here are frankly huge for her two-match turmoil with Caitlin Dunlap and Dakota Kai. Now, the rules of two-match turmoil, if Caitlin Dunlap is to win here, then it will be Dunlap who will go on to fight Dakota Kai for the Women's World Championship. Dunlap already has a pinfall victory over Asuka. Asuka's the only woman to ever kick out of the DDG, but then Dunlap ended up putting her away with the DDG in that same match. But of course, if there's anything we know about Asuka, it's that she is maybe the smartest competitor in GAW, and if she loses once, you can bet that she's going to be in the lab making sure it doesn't happen again. Now Asuka leg trap crossface here onto Dunlap, and Dunlap able to use that flexibility. She has a background in gymnastics and CrossFit, and now a thrust kick to Asuka. It certainly doesn't look like Dunlap is succumbing to the moment, that's for sure. That's a concern when you get a rookie on a stage like this. I mean, really, when you get anyone on a stage like this, but particularly someone who doesn't have a lot of experience. But it certainly seems like Dunlap is well aware of the implications, well aware of the moment right now. And so what's important is that she remains focused against someone as dangerous as Asuka. And Dunlap now, another brain buster. Whenever she gets you into that suplex position, you got to be worried that she's thinking DDG. And Dunlap, ooh, kicks Asuka. Looked like she was going for the stomp. And Dunlap now, backflip, knees to the gut. Superiority, she calls it. That'll put a lot of pressure on the abdomen, and now going for the cover, Asuka kicks out at 2. That one's always dangerous, and speaking of dangerous, Dunlap now going for the turnbuckle pad. I think she tore it off in that corner. Now Irish whip, Asuka comes off the ropes, Dunlap hurdle over, and Dunlap with a leg lariat. You gotta be wary of that corner, boot to the gut, caught by Asuka, and now Asuka rolls her over into an ankle lock. Asuka now driving all the weight, all the pressure into the ankle of Dunlap. The rookie able to break out of it. But Asuka now, backslide driver, and now Asuka transitions into a high stack cover. Dunlap kicks out. Always dangerous is Asuka with any move that she possesses. Dunlap now, big strike. Dunlap, Dunlap into the suplex position, DDG! Dunlap beat Asuka with the DDG, it could be over. Caitlin Dunlap drags her into the middle of the ring. 2, no! Asuka, like she did in their first match, kicks out of the DDG. Wow. And now for Dunlap, the real question is, can she stay focused even after hitting her biggest move? Asuka looking for maybe for an Empress combination. Dunlap out of the way and a thrust kick. And Dunlap now looking like she might have the advantage here on the Women's World Champion. The two have moved outside. The referee was dealing with that turnbuckle pad, so thankfully that will not factor, as the referee has replaced that pad, and thankfully Dunlap was not able to do anything untoward while the referee was distracted. I think Asuka stopped that from happening. Asuka turning her attention to the neck of Caitlin Dunlap. You know, ever since that no-holds-barred match with Shayna Baszler where the Asuka lock was banned, Asuka has not really been using that submission very much. Dunlap now, oh, DDG again! It took 2 to put away Asuka the first time, and now Dunlap, no! Caitlin Dunlap, 2 DDGs, and neither of them get the job done against one of the greatest world champions in history. But now Dunlap with a face buster, and Dunlap once again going for a cover, trying to put the pressure on. Asuka kicks out at 2. Wow, what a match this has been. And Asuka somehow, some way is still alive. Another ankle lock here from Asuka as Dunlap tries to reach for that rope. Asuka keeping her away, but Dunlap able to roll over and break out of it. Asuka transitions straight back into the front chancery, and now Asuka drop toe hold, and again, a leg trapped crossface now as Asuka wrenches back on Dunlap, but the referee calls for a rope break. Asuka, though, trying to fire up here. Asuka, there it is! There is the Asuka lock! Asuka from behind! Asuka trying to win the Women's World Championship, trying to defend, and Asuka wins! Asuka, for the second time at a Nitro event, wins the Women's World Championship, or in this case, defends the Women's World Championship. It's not over yet. Asuka's still got a match to come, but Asuka withstands the onslaught of the rookie, Caitlin Dunlap. Dunlap came so agonizingly close to winning the Women's World Championship. 2 DDGs, and the second one, the referee's hand was millimeters from the mat. But Asuka showing why she is such a dominant champion. If you are Dakota Kai and you're watching this, I mean, what's going through your mind right now? You've seen Caitlin Dunlap give everything she's got to the Women's World Championship, and it still is not enough. And now Asuka brings back the Asuka lock. We hadn't seen it since her match versus Shayna Baszler, and Asuka brings it back at the right time to beat Caitlin Dunlap and retain the Women's World Championship. Folks, let's think about what we've seen on this show. We've seen Shane Thorne and Nick Miller prove themselves to be a much more dangerous combination than we had thought. We've seen Rey Mysterio come back to evidently take Bandito under his charge, and now we've seen Asuka defend the Women's World Championship. It's not over for Asuka. She's got one match left, but folks, what a tremendous Nitro 10 episode. Join us again on Wednesday for the Storm Chaser Tournament. Thank you so much. Subscribe. We appreciate you.